this team is out there against the Raptors, right? Never know what's going to happen in this world. A Raptors team is up and down, and they stay at 500, right? A Bulls team that you think can do very well, and they don't. And they're now playing for the right to continue on in a road game in Miami to make the playoffs after all season long. You're wondering what's going on between these two teams, and they finally show up. And a Raptors team that might trade away Fred VanVleet, and a Raptors team that might add or subtract, and they do add Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl comes, and they are only 500. But it comes time to play a playoff game. And who knew with all the moves that the Raptors were going to make and didn't, and the move that they did make and still wound up 500. And a Bulls team that did have two incredibly talented players, or three or four, and could only be the 10th seed. Who knew it would eventually come down to the shrieks of a 9-year-old? Who knew?
I knew you were going there.
The entire season would boil down to a shrieking 9-year-old girl.
A 9-year-old.
9-year-old shrieking. If her name was Emmanuel. Emmanuel Shrieky showed up. Nope. DeMar DeRozan. Now, it's kind of crazy as you're watching this game and the Raptors are up by, wait for it, 19 points. They're up 19. And the Raptors are going to the free throw line again and again and again. 36 trips to the free throw line. And every single time they let loose on a free throw, and it's all quiet. Every time a 9-year-old girl beneath the basket shrieks at the top of her lungs, and every time the Raptors take a free throw, they hear this. That is actually the scream. We were able to take it off of the game tape.
Wow.
That was recorded outside the arena, by the way.
No, this is her.
That's how loud it was.
DeMar DeRozan's daughter, after, a few times, ESPN actually started to find the source. You heard at one point Mark Jones and, say, where's this coming from? And they zero in on her. And now the Raptors miss free throws. They took 36 shots from the free throw line and made only 18. And the 19-point lead evaporates, and the Bulls win. And all we're talking about today isn't DeMar DeRozan or Zach LaVine. We're not talking about the Bulls coming back and now going down to Miami. Miami versus the Bulls. A lot of star players on that court. It's going to be fun tonight for the right to go face the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round on Friday, pardon me. Here we go. So why are we talking about a 9-year-old girl shrieking? Because the Raptors missed half of their free throws last night. 18 of 36. And I cannot believe we're coming in here today, and the national conversation is, was this young girl right to do it or not? Let me just settle this. Let me settle this. These are professional basketball players. After the first few shrieks, you know it's coming. Make your free throws. I cannot believe that Fred VanVleet would be looking in the mirror today, and Nick Nurse, who, by the way, might have coached his last game with the Toronto Raptors.
Seems likely.
That they're looking in the mirror today and wondering if their season went down the tubes because of this. Are they really doing that today?
The sound in the mirror.
If you want to stop the shrieking, make your free throws. The number of times as a parent that a child does something completely annoying, the way to make it stop is to ignore it.
Yep.
If you pay attention to it, they're only going to do it louder and more often. Now, I understand. You could sit there and say, well, DeMar should have just told his daughter. You know, like, it's bad sportsmanship. And I'll be honest with you. If my kid was doing that, I would tell him to stop doing it. Not because of the affecting of the competition. I mean, could you imagine you're sitting next to that at a game, you're paying thousands of dollars, and you're hearing somebody shrieking at the top of their lungs every single time? I would have done that, but be that as it may. If anybody's out there today saying that the Toronto Raptors lost because she's shrieking, don't blow a 19-point lead at home.
There's that.
Score more 2- and 3-point baskets when the crowd is screaming and drowning out the shrieks of a 9-year-old girl. How about that?
I agree with you.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Make more 2s and more 3s.
Or just make 5. They lost by 4. Make 5 more free throws. Shoot 64% instead of 50%.
Wow. I cannot believe that's the national conversation. And I kind of feel like there's a 9-year-old girl who's walking around right now, and she's kind of famous.
She won a playoff game.
Yeah, look at that.
I mean, come on.
Did she really win a playoff game?
Yes.
Come on. Come on, man.
How did she not?
Come on.
These guys were freaked out to shoot free throws.
Come on. Well, the first few times I would be freaked out thinking, has a young child lost their limb? Then the next few times I'd be like, who is this person? And take a look and go, oh, it's DeMar's daughter. They all know that's DeMar's daughter. They all know that. After a while, they're probably asking on the bench, who's the girl who's shrieking? And they're probably like, that's DeMar's daughter. So you know DeMar's daughter is shrieking when you're taking a free throw. So make your free throw shot. Because guess what will happen? She'll shut up. The minute she feels that she's being effective is the minute she's going to shriek louder. Most of these guys are probably parents anyway. They know that. Number of times that my kids say, this person's kids annoy me. Ignore them. And if you don't want to see them celebrating in the end zone, don't let them score. It's that simple, isn't it? I can't believe we're having this national conversation today. Because it is being had. You told me that today, that everyone's talking about it. I go on Twitter and seeing what the conversation
Twitter
is.
was crazy last night with
ESPN. SportsCenter just had the young lady on 4 different times.
The Raptors were 78.5% from the free throw line during the regular season. So, and
they shot 50% last night.
So don't tell me she wasn't a factor. Won the game. Locked down from the foul line.
Dude, get out of here. So ridiculous. She's not going to Miami, though, right? Is that what they said? DeMar DeRozan
DeMar
said she's not going to Miami?
no. He said you can only miss 1 day of school to come to the game.
All right.
And so
Yeah, he says that now, and then they're down 0-1.
that was the one.
Now you got to repeat what you did. This, the superstition kicks in. Dior's got to be
I
at the game.
cannot believe, again, that if you believe that she did affect the play last night, and you do believe this is the reason why the Raptors blew a 19-point lead at home, and if you do believe that, I cannot believe that as the Raptors are going through their season with the hand-wringing over their roster and their coach's future and everything like that, that it really boiled down to a 9-year-old girl shrieking during their 36 free throw attempts last night. And it threw them off their game so significantly, it cost them 18 points, 5 of which they could have used. That's nuts. And that's our sports world. I can't believe it. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.